Are you working with nonfiction responses in your classroom? Sometimes it's hard and tricky to figure that out. So let's get started. Let's use this awesome book called Shark Lady and this PDF that you can find in the comments section below. I'll show you how to fill this out and identify nonfiction information in those assignments that your teachers are giving you. Let's get started. As you watch this video talk about identifying nonfiction information, you're going to want to head over to Ready Read Alouds and listen to the story Shark Lady in its entirety so you can follow along with what we're working on. All right, here we're going to take a look a little bit more closely at this nonfiction story that you've already read, and the directions say to think about the book that you read about Eugenie Clark. In the first two boxes, draw pictures to illustrate what you remember from the text. Answer all of the questions using complete sentences and examples from the text. So in this first box, it says one discovery Eugenie made about sharks. Now this might take you a minute to go back and review what was going on in the story, but the one part that I remember that I thought was so interesting was when she discovered that cave. Do you remember that part? She's studying about the sharks, and then she goes on to graduate, and she makes discoveries, and there she is in that cave. Do you remember that part? I loved that part of the story. I thought that was so interesting. I didn't know about that. So that is definitely something I learned. So now I'm gonna take this picture, and I'm going to do my best in artwork to recreate it. Now, I am not a very good artist, so just bear with me. This project is not about grading your artwork, although I'm sure many of you can do a much better job than me. So let's just take a moment and draw our sharks sleeping in that cave. Around, so it's dark in that cave. I'm gonna do that so I remember they were sleeping in that cave. All right, and so I'm going to remind myself down here, I'm gonna put sleeping sharks in the cave. And that's just to kind of help me remember what my picture was about. Now, her experiment with sharks. Now, she was famous for these experiments, and here's this picture of her doing the experiments. She thought maybe she could train them like a dog, and she wondered how smart they were, and she discovered that she could train the sharks, and she even learned that they could remember their training for at least 2 months afterwards. So I'm remembering this page with that button being pushed. So I'm going to try and draw that picture of a shark remembering that button that they push. after she graduated, many still doubted her. There's that sentence to remind that that's the recalling of that. Now it says, write one fact that you learned about the sharks. And so now I can go back up to my picture that I drew here and write about those sleeping sharks in the cave there. And it was believed that sharks needed to keep moving. I'm going to write that. It was believed that sharks needed to keep moving to stay alive. But Eugenie discovered a cave full of sleeping sharks. And there's my picture that reminded me of that sentence. So now I'm just going to go back and reread that and take a look at that. It was believed that sharks needed to keep moving to stay alive, but Eugenie discovered a cave full of sleeping sharks. And she went on to study that, and they talked about the oxygen level in that, and it was a very, very interesting discovery about those sleeping sharks. Do you have a question about nonfiction responses? Leave it in the comment section below, and we are here to help you. Give us a like, subscribe, keep these videos coming. Thanks for watching. Happy reading and writing.